Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film today's video. I've been trying to do more drugstore and affordable focused videos. I love drugstore makeup. There are so many high quality products that are available for an affordable price. You really don't have to spend a ton of money to get high quality products, especially these days. I feel like the drugstore and just affordable brands in general have been stepping it up and they make amazing products. So I've been wanting to do more affordable focused or drugstore focused videos. So I thought in today's video, I would film the Ride or Die makeup tag, which is an older tag on YouTube, but I wanted to film an updated version and then include drugstore or again, affordable products. I feel like I have to always clarify because not all of these brands can be found at the drugstore, even if I consider them drugstore brands in my mind. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I would love to hear your answers. So if you film YouTube videos, I would love to see your video, or if not, please share them in the comment section below. I always write down your suggestions, your recommendations, because it's very, very helpful. So let's jump into it and I'll kick it off with cheek products. My favorite blush formula, without a doubt, would have to be the E.L.F. Baked Blush Formula. These are $3, which is so crazy to me. I've loved these for years, ever since I started my YouTube channel and I tried them for the first time. They are so good. They're very naturally luminous, so they don't look like shimmery blushes, but when you apply them to the cheeks, they give your cheeks a very subtle sheen. I like these because you can go in with a light hand and get a pretty sheer application, or you can actually build them up for something a little bit more intense and vibrant. So I love these. I think they perform so well. The fact that they're $3 blows my mind because I've been testing out quite a few blush formulas lately, and these E.L.F. baked blushes perform just as good, if not better, than a lot of my high-end favorites. E.L.F. just makes a lot of good cheek products. They actually make my favorite bronzer from the drugstore as well. This is the Primer Infused Bronzer. I wear the shade Forever Sunkissed. I have been testing out so many bronzers over the past few months, and there are bronzers that I like that are high-end, that are a little bit more pricey, but to be honest with you guys, this $6 bronzer outperforms so many of the high-end bronzers that I've been trying out. It's very smooth, very blendable. It just is such a gorgeous formula. If you're looking for an effortless bronzer that just blends onto the skin like butter, this is such a great option. And again, I do have the lightest shade. I think for the summertime, I could probably go a little bit darker, but I love this one for everyday wear because it is a little bit more of a natural bronze on me. If you watch my videos, even on rare occasions, you probably will not be surprised by my highlighter choice. This one is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. This highlighting palette is something that I rave about every chance I get because the formula outperforms my high-end highlighters. You can mix the shades together, you can use them alone, and it's a very lightweight formula. It almost feels undetectable on the skin, but it does have like an intense reflection. So the highlight itself is pretty intense, but the actual powder is a little bit more lightweight and subtle on the skin, if that makes sense. It's just such a good option, and I totally recommend it if you have not tried it already. Let's talk about a few complexion products. I had a little bit of a difficult time choosing a primer because there are two primers that I do really like, but one of them is a fairly recent discovery. That one is the Catrice Aqua Fresh primer, and that one's a really moisturizing primer. I know that I love it and I know that it will be a staple for me, but I wanted to choose something that's been a favorite for a long time, and that is the E.L.F. Oil Control Primer Mist. I think I just talked about this in a few of my recent videos, but it is the best primer if you have oily skin or if it's very hot out or if you have a super long day, because there's something in this primer that is just magic. I have not found a primer that really controls my oily skin like this one, and the difference is this one doesn't feel matte on the skin. I don't like primers that feel like they're sucking all of the moisture out of your skin because they do mattify, but they're really uncomfortable and they aren't very flattering in the end. This one is basically like a watery primer, and you're supposed to spray it on your face. I actually just spray it directly into my hand and press it into my skin, and it literally keeps my skin from getting oily throughout the day. It is crazy. I love using it during the summertime. I don't reach for it as much during the winter, but it really is such a high quality primer. So if you have oily skin, I do recommend checking it out. I have talked about the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation so many times, but this is such a high quality formula. I would say that it is significantly better than the majority of my high-end matte foundations. It's incredibly lightweight. It has almost like a serum or runny texture, but it is really full coverage. So I love that it gives you the coverage that you want, but it's super lightweight and comfortable at the same time. So your skin does not look or the foundation doesn't look heavy or cakey. It looks really natural for a full coverage foundation. Okay, so here's where ColourPop comes into play, because I've tried quite a few concealers from the drugstore, but there's not one off the top of my head that I would consider like an absolute favorite or an essential. My favorite affordable concealer is the ColourPop No Filter. I think that this is such a good option if you want more of a medium to full coverage matte concealer. This is great as an under eye concealer, a spot concealer. I'll also wear it as foundation on days where I don't want like a super full coverage or full face of foundation. I'll just spot conceal and blend it out, and it stays in place well. It has a nice matte finish. It's buildable all around. It's just a very high quality product, and they do have a good shade range. My favorite powder is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. I have the shade Porcelain, and I mentioned this in a recent dupes video, I honestly think that it is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. I was kind of nervous to say that in the video because I know that the Charlotte Tilbury powder has like a cult following and people just love that powder, myself included. That was my absolute favorite powder formula until I discovered this one. This one is a fraction of the cost, and I feel like it does the exact same thing. It really does give you a soft airbrushed finish, and it sets everything into place without being too matte. So it does lock your foundation down. It does kind of blur pores and fine lines, but it looks like skin and it wears well throughout the day. So this is the best powder that I have found at the drugstore and even at like Sephora by far. It is so high quality, so beautiful, and I just love it. Let's talk about eye products. I think you guys probably know who makes my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. It has to be ColourPop. They make the best eyeshadow formula. These are $12 palettes. I love all of their palettes, but their 9-pan palettes have been my favorite. They come with 9 curated eyeshadows. They've been doing these monochromatic palettes in 2019, and I just think they're a nice way to add some color to your makeup collection without spending a ton of money. The matte shadows are very blendable. The metallic shadows are so creamy and vibrant on the eyes, and I am just continuously impressed by their eyeshadow palettes. I haven't tried one that I haven't loved. I think the formula in general is very consistent. So if you see one that appeals to you in terms of like the color scheme, I definitely recommend picking it up. Other than ColourPop, if we're talking strictly drugstore, I would say that Milani makes some really good eyeshadow palettes, but their prices can be a little bit high. But if you're willing to pay the money or you can get them on sale, I do think Milani's eyeshadows are really nice too. There are high-end mascaras that I love, but honestly, drugstore mascaras are just so good. I was tempted to say the CoverGirl Exhibitionist, but honestly, I think I've only been using this for like 3 months maybe, so I don't know if I could really share it as my ride or die mascara. So I have to go with the Essence Lash Princess. I don't have that one right now because I recently finished it up, so I don't have it to share with you guys in today's video, but that is probably my favorite. It makes your lashes so long and dramatic, and while I have discovered other formulas that I like just as much, maybe even a little bit better, that one is like my tried and true favorite, and I have just raved about it for so long. They recently released a waterproof version, so I am curious to try that one out, but overall, I love how it makes your lashes look so long. For liquid liner, I almost mentioned one from NYX, but I feel like I keep coming back to this one for years at this point. This one is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum. I really like this eyeliner for everyday wear. I just find that this one glides on so easily, so when I'm doing eyeliner and I'm in a hurry, I don't have a lot of time, I like using this one because it's not as intense and dramatic as some of my other liquid liners. So if I'm doing something really natural, I don't feel like it is as harsh as some of the other ones that I have, even though it is still a black liquid liner. I also feel like this will literally last forever. It takes me so long to use one of them up, and every time I finish it up, I'm like, well, I probably won't repurchase it, and then I find it again in my makeup collection because I think subconsciously I ordered it like when I was placing like an Ulta order. So I always seem to have it in my collection. I always seem to reach for it. It's just one of those products that I can't replace. I really do love it. So this is a great option if you're looking for an affordable brush tip liquid liner. As for pencil liner for like the waterline or, you know, even smudging on the lower lash line, I do love the ColourPop cream gel liners. I don't think that these are the most high quality liners that I've ever tried, but I don't know. I haven't really found any at the drugstore that I've just loved more than these, but I haven't really tried a ton. So if you have any recommendations, I would love to check them out. I'm always looking for an alternative to the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils, which I really do love, but those are really expensive for eyeliners. I think they're worth the money because they're so high quality and I get a ton of use out of them, but I would love to have like a more affordable option if I want to purchase a color that I don't wear all the time. But in the meantime, these ColourPop ones are my go-to. I have 2 brow products and then 2 lip products. So my favorite eyebrow pencil is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I wear the shade Brunette. I totally picked this up based on your recommendations. It's such a great option. It's a few dollars and it works just as well as my Anastasia Brow Wiz. The only reason that I reach for Anastasia Brow Wiz over this one is because I find that the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil matches me just a little bit better. Not enough to make a significant difference, but for some reason, I just like that one slightly better. But this one is significantly more affordable, so I always keep it in my collection, and I think it does a really good job. But the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in the shade Dark Brown is like my #1 eyebrow essential. Affordable or not, this is something that I use every single day, whether I fill my brows in with a pencil or not. It just gives my brows a lot of volume, and I love the tinted brow gel in dark brown because it just makes my brows look a lot more full than they actually are. So a lot of times if I'm doing like really lightweight makeup, I'll just fill in my brows with this brow gel. I won't even touch the pencil and it makes them look so thick and voluminous and just fluffy and textured. And I'm just continuously impressed by this product. I've repurchased it so many times. I noticed when I was trying to choose a favorite lip gloss, lipstick, lip liner, I didn't have too many to choose from. Like I do have drugstore options in my makeup collection, but there wasn't really one particular formula that was like really jumping out at me as my go-to, my staple. And I actually didn't have that many lip glosses from the drugstore. So if you guys have any lip gloss recommendations, I would love to check them out. I always say that I don't like spending a ton of money on high-end glosses, but like my go-to glosses are high-end glosses. So I don't have a lip gloss to share with you, but my favorite affordable lip products would have to be the ColourPop Lippie Sticks, and ColourPop Lippie Pencils. The ColourPop Lippie Pencils are the only lip liners that I use. I actually keep them that way, back on my vanity, because I use them every single day when I'm wearing a lip product. They are so high quality. They stay in place well. They're creamy, but they have a matte finish. So they're completely comfortable, but they really do grip onto your lip product and hold it in place all day long. So I've actually decluttered every single one of my lip liners at this point, just because I feel like ColourPop has me covered with their lippy pencils. As for lipstick, I just chose the ColourPop Lippie Sticks. These are some of my favorite. I feel like with all of their lip products, their lippy sticks have kind of moved to the bottom of the list for a lot of people, but I still enjoy the formula. I just think they are rich and smooth and creamy and affordable. So that is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to go through and share my absolute favorite drugstore and affordable products with you. If there are any other drugstore related videos that you want to see on my channel, I would love to hear from you. I will definitely film them. I'll add them to my list, so let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very soon in a new video. Bye.